And
maybe I'll go like this.
Christian's known as one of the best
Is it on? Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to the Franchise Tag. I'm Gareth Smith, and today we're joined here on Radio Row by another very special guest. We've got Sterling Xie from the Pro Football Network. How are you doing?
Doing great. Just excited for the game to get here. This is, it gets busier and busier every day on Radio.
It does, and just some of the names you're seeing around us today. We've had Drew Brees literally walk past a minute ago. Yeah. Myles Garrett was here yesterday. I'm assuming people are trying to trade him.
Yeah. He may be shopping himself around here. There's plenty of future and potential employers around here, I'm sure.
There is, and how have you found this whole experience so far?
It's definitely a bit of an overwhelming experience, but it's like you said, it's a tremendous networking opportunity, tremendous opportunity to spread. I'm sure as you're doing, spread your brand, and definitely be able to market what's going on with Pro Football Network as well.
And obviously, do you want to tell us a bit about what you do for the Pro Football Network?
Sure. So what we are is we're an online site. So we cover anything you can imagine for pro football, whether it's the on-field aspect, traditional box scores, advanced analytics, fantasy, betting, injury news. So any kind of angle that you can think of that you could potentially be interested in with the NFL, Pro Football Network's going to have it covered. So I write up a lot of those angles. I do a lot of the research elements, so working on the advanced stats that I mentioned and kind of breaking down the game on those angles is mostly my job.
And to be fair, some of the tools you've got on there are pretty cool as well, like the other things like the off-season tracker, which is quite, I had to go with it because I'm trying to work out how the Eagles somehow afford Zach Bourne and everybody else, keep Josh Sweat and all those guys.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's just say, it's not an easy challenge to try and fit all those guys in the roster.
No, but thanks for calling that out. Yeah, we got an off-season simulator and a mock draft simulator. Yeah. So, you can pick whatever team you want and basically say you want to control the Eagles. Who are they going to get it with either the 31st or 32nd pick?
Yeah.
Do the mock draft simulator so it takes the mystery out of it. You can see who's available for them. We have team needs married to that as well, so you can see Eagles don't have as many needs as a lot of teams, but if you're something like the Titans and you need everything, you can use that as a bit of a guide. And the off-season simulator too, which is a really, really cool tool. Something that I think is pretty rare on the internet anyway.
And I think it's very much something that I think needs more advertisement, because that's something I wasn't aware of until I started to research into you guys.
Yeah.
Because I've used your draft simulator before, but it's one of them where when we got the email about this, I had a look at it and went, this tool is actually brilliant.
Yeah, so it really is the closest simulation you can get to what the team actually needs to, the decisions they need to make, the general managers and the front office. Because we give you a list of their free agent, you make offers, and based on kind of the algorithms we have in place, they'll either reject or accept the offers. You determine the years, the money, the guaranteed money, and then also determine who you want to cut. So we have it laid out for you. You cut player X, okay, you save $10 million against the cap, but you have to be aware, hey, that maybe adds, say, $5 million in dead money. So we basically have everything laid out for you, so you can make your decisions. If you really hate, I don't know, I guess the Eagles don't have a lot of bad contracts, but if you hated, their backup running back, you said, get him out of here, we're going to cut him, then, all right, this is how much it'll cost you, your salary cap, this is how much it'll save you. And then moving forward then once you've made the decision on your free agents, you can say who you want to sign. Yeah. So if you want to go crazy and sign T. Higgins, well, go ahead, bid. It's a blind bid, just like it would be. So send whatever you want.
We can't afford that. I've had a look.
I think wide receiver, the Eagles are pretty safe. You paid A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith pretty handsomely, so you're going to spend your money elsewhere. But.
So, obviously, it'd be remiss if we didn't talk about this game coming up, because, it's what we're here for. Eagles versus the Chiefs. What would you say, obviously, with the background analysis and statistics, what are the Eagles' strengths over the Chiefs?
Yeah, the Eagles are such a complete roster. There's really nothing about the team on this line of scrimmage, offense and defense, that they have a significant weakness in. I think the promising thing, if you want to talk to yourself, how the Eagles win this game, there is a scenario where they can do something similar to what Tampa Bay did to hand Mahomes his only Super Bowl loss, where Tom Brady gets love, Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski, they got a lot of love, but it was really Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul who were the best players for Tampa Bay in that win. There's the potential for Philadelphia, I think, to replicate parts of that formula, where Kansas City's offensive line, not as beat up as it was in 2020, but obviously they're working with a makeshift unit with their all-pro guard Joe Thuney having to play left tackle. Sounds like that's the arrangement that's going to stay in place. So you have Mike Caliendo now at backup guard, who people have been going after. And that's where the Eagles' strength is, right? You have Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, who you were talking about free agency. He's going to get paid in free agency as a breakout pass rusher, as well as Jordan Davis there as well. So there is the potential, There's the old adage with Tom Brady. Oh, all you need to do is get pressure with 4. Sounds, way
Easy.
harder than it sounds.
Easy,
But if you can do it, hey, Giants did it twice in the Super Bowl, beat him twice in the Super Bowl. So it is, if you do it, it's a pretty good formula. Eagles have that ability. They were second in our defensive rankings because they're top 10 in everything, no matter what. And one of those categories is their top 5 in pressure without blitzing. Because anyone can get pressure if you send the house, but Mahomes is going to tear you up if you send the house. Eagles were a top 5 pass rush when they only sent 4, and that's going to be the key for them in this game. They have to get to Mahomes and create a few negative plays there, but it makes sense on paper.
So if we flip it over to the other side, the team I don't want to win in the Chiefs, what's their route to victory?
I think you've seen it. I mean, it's a boring answer, but you've seen it for 3 years now. It's to win the most important downs, because there's nothing about the Chiefs that profiles as this unstoppable juggernaut. They're barely a top 10 offense, even if you throw out that Week 18 game when they sat everyone. Barely a top half of the league defense this year overall in the regular season. But you look at where they are excellent, it's third downs and it's the red zone. And it's turnovers. And those are the 3 things that really determine winners more than anything. They've turned the ball over once in 9 games. And
Crazy.
it was a drop snap in the AFC Championship. It's not like Buffalo did anything.
Well, isn't it?
It's not like Buffalo did anything to force a turnover. It's the very rare, once a month mistake that the Chiefs offense will make. First and second down, roughly league average offense. Third down, best offense in the league, and they just get it done over and over again on that down. And red zone, they're an excellent red zone defense in particular too.
And the interesting thing, obviously, with them as well is that it's not. I think there's also the other factor of the fact that they just seem to know how to always get it done as well. There's the intangible things that isn't on paper. That they've got that guy called Patrick Mahomes who's all right. They've got this tight end called Travis Kelce that seems to have an all right following at the moment. These guys are not household names, really. No, joking. But they just seem to have these intangibles I don't think any other team in the league have, which must make it hard for yourself as do stats analysis to try and pinpoint that a little bit.
Believe me, it's a little bit maddening. I mean, you see some Patriots. The Patriots were typically a pretty dominant team, with the exception of maybe 2018, their last Super Bowl team. When the Patriots won the Super Bowl, it was pretty obvious. 2016, number 1 offense, number 1 defense. Oh, no crap, they're going to win the Super Bowl. It's not too much of a surprise. The Chiefs are getting it done in a different way, but I think the other intangible thing I'd add too, which is a little harder to quantify with stats, is the coaching. You saw that you see that every game where no matter how much you prepare for the Chiefs, they bring out something new in a critical situation that you can't see. Buffalo was so well prepared for the blitz that entire game. 4th and 5. They talked about it after the game. Spagnuolo broke tendency because basically the blitz would always come from the wide side of the field for them in that formation, and that was the one time he brought it from the short side, and they weren't prepared for it, and they got 2 free rushers. There's always some sort of red zone play call, something creative from Andy Reid that we've never seen. So that's the other thing that you can't really capture in stats, but you just know that Reid and Spagnuolo are going to have a call that the Eagles didn't prepare for. Whether or not Philly can react in the moment on the fly, the way that they did 2 years ago when the Chiefs got 2 wide open touchdowns off motions near the goal line. If the Eagles, they have to react better to that this time, and that's going to be what makes the difference.
I think what's quite interesting, both these defenses, I think they're both, the best way of describing these defenses at points, they're bend not break kind of defenses. Like the Eagles again are very, they're a team that you can potentially go down the field a little bit with, but once you get in that red zone again over there, they seem to almost put a wall up like the Chiefs do. They both seem to be very bend not break.
And this is almost like a full circle moment for Mahomes, I'd say, because 2 years ago when he had that slow start to the regular season, teams were playing the 2 high safeties, the Fangio defense, and they're like, oh, we solved it. We solved Mahomes. We just put a cap on him. He can't hit us with the 50-yard bombs anymore. We got him. Well, no, you didn't get him. No. He just now dissects you all the way down the field, and he figured that answer out pretty quickly. Now it's come back around to Vic. I would say the answer's on him. If he just plays his, he has a very distinct flavor of defense where it's a lot of 2 high pattern match coverages that Mahomes has seen forever. He'll happily hold the ball for 8 minutes, drive you, take 14 plays to go 70 yards, and that's fine. He has no problem doing that, and Saquon's going to be sitting on the sideline with Hurts and Brown and Devontae Smith. So now I think the onus is flipped. It's not on Mahomes to find the answers to this defenses anymore. It's on Vic and the Eagles defense to figure out what's the changeup we're going to throw at Mahomes. He's not going to change his defense in 2 weeks, of course, but on those there's going to be a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3 that Mahomes is pretty automatic at converting. What's the changeup this time for Vic and the Eagles defense to get him off the field?
So I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you what your score prediction of the game is going to be. Everyone's down here has got one. Let's see. What's yours?
I've been thinking about this all week. The people are comparing the Chiefs dynasty to the Patriots dynasty, understandably so, right? Brady and Mahomes. One thing that I found kind of funny, Brady in his 8th season had a chance to hit complete history, because that was the 2007 season when he broke records. Patriots had a chance to be the first 19-0 team, famously, of course, lost in the Super Bowl, and were denied history. This is Mahomes' 8th season, has another chance to break through and accomplish history and become the first Super Bowl three-peat team. A lot of people are expecting him to do it. Could the Eagles deny him on the doorstep?
So you want another NFC East team to derail?
There you go. That's the other one, NFC East. Ultimately, Mahomes, I think, it might be on a different level, though. So until the Chiefs lose, it's hard for me to pick against them.
Okay.
For me, it's 27-21 Chiefs.
Okay.
At the end. That's how I see it.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time today. Truly grateful for speaking to yourself. Obviously, thank you very much for listening at home. We'll be back again soon with another special guest.